The most dangerous tourist hotspots on Earth. Hello everyone, welcome back to Ahmed Media. Please stay tuned and watch till the end, and don't forget to subscribe, like, share and comment for future topics. This is Elephant Kingdom, a wildlife sanctuary in Thailand where you can get up close with these friendly giants. But the elephants aren't the reason this place is one of the most dangerous tourist attractions in the world. When elephants get boring, tourists have the option to crowd together in a small wooden rafts and float out to feed some of the Elephant Kingdom's less gentle animals, the crocodiles. Groups of up to 15 are surrounded by crocodiles in the middle of the water, and they even attract more and more crocodiles by feeding them chunks of beef. The tourists are technically protected by a cage, but officials were so worried about the safety of the raft that once pictures of the tourist activity surfaced online, they raced to the park and shut it down. There is no more crocodile feeding, but if you want to get close with these reptiles, then you have to go in a tank and crocodiles will swim around you. Victoria Falls has some of the best views ever on the Zambia-Zimbabwe border, but at 108 meters tall, about twice the height of Niagara Falls, these beautiful falls have a dark side. One of the biggest hotspots around the falls is Devil's Pool, and it's just as dangerous as the name. The tourists go to the pool for the best view of the falls, but the pool brings them just inches from falling over the edge of the huge waterfall. Getting to the pool is hard. You have to fight the strong current of the Zambezi River, and many people hold hands while crossing to make sure nobody gets swept away. Tour guides also check for crocodiles and hippos, and tourists are only allowed to go to the falls from mid-August to January because strong currents during the rest of the year make surviving Devil's Pool almost impossible for some people. There's nothing more relaxing than taking a hike up a mountain. That's why Half Dome is the most beautiful hiking trail in Yosemite National Park. The thing about Half Dome is it's a wonderful trail that exhausts you right up until the very last ascent, and the last ascent is the most dangerous one. Once you get close to the peak, you'll know there are cables set up so people can safely scale the mountain. These cables are bolted into the side of Half Dome and attached to metal posts, and they are very important because the last few meters of the mountain is basically vertical. The Yosemite Search and Rescue Team has received more than 100 calls each year for injuries from falling and other injuries. The Russian Valley is located in Volcanic Gorge in remote Kamchatka. While it's one of the most unique tourist destinations, it's also one of the most dangerous. Tourists who try to brave the valley are still in for a terrible surprise. The valley is small, stretching only 1.9 kilometers long, but any human or animal that wanders into the valley has a good chance of not coming out again. This is due to the toxic gas produced by the volcanoes, which makes the valley unlivable. Plants don't grow, and animals that go in for search of food are never seen again. The place is full of frozen bodies. If the toxic gas isn't enough to turn you away from the valley, then you might want to consider that there are many of the volcanoes that are still active and can blow at any time. Running with the bulls is a tradition in a few countries, but the biggest and most dangerous of the annual runs takes place in Spain. Every year, from July 6th through the 14th, citizens and tourists gather to run for their lives from herds of angry bulls, but it's not always the bulls that pose the most danger. People often get hit, trampled, bruised, or even stabbed by bulls. Their horns have pierced through runners' legs, and they've used their huge bodies to literally throw runners out of their way. Since 1910, 15 men have lost their lives while running with the bulls. But one of the men was actually the victim of hundreds of other runners trampling him. The runners are often the cause of the most serious yearly injuries, not the bulls. The bullfighting arena is the worst spot where escaping from bottleneck runners and bulls is also impossible. But still, the tradition continues anyways. Snake Island in Brazil is terrifying. This small island is home to the largest concentrated number of snakes in the world. It's also home to the most venomous snake in the world, the bothrops, also known as lanceheads. Lanceheads can grow to be over 1.5 feet long. Their venom is so dangerous that any human who's been bitten is gone within an hour. It's estimated that there's about one deadly snake in every square foot of the island. That's why Brazil has technically closed the island to visitors. But that doesn't stop nature lovers and adventure-seeking tourists from finding their way onto the forbidden island. Then, there is also another reason why tourists visit this island. Legend has it that a pirate once buried treasure there and left snakes behind to guard it. The strange Danakil Desert in Ethiopia is one of the hottest and most inhospitable places on Earth, but tourists are increasingly visiting the desert to get a good look at the alien landscape. Temperatures in the desert averaged between 34.5 and 50 degrees Celsius. It's covered in active volcanoes and even acid lakes. Volcanic activity heats the spring water, bringing sulfur and iron to the surface and causing beautiful yellow and green and orange deposits. Being in the desert makes you feel like you've traveled to a different planet. Locals often come to the area to mine the salt deposits. They have to be very careful to come when it's not too hot and when there's no sign of volcanic eruptions. They also have to be very sure to stay away from spew, toxic gas, and not to step into any acid lakes. Not to mention, there are parts of the desert with very little breathable oxygen. Okay guys, that is it for today's video. If you liked it, please don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and comment for future topics. Until next time.